I've tried to film this video 15 different times. I think this is take 16, and I think I've finally come to the realization that this video will require a lot of splicing rather than me trying to talk for however many minutes long and like just continuously. So I apologize if the splicing is done badly. I'm not really experienced with video editing. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know I took a really long hiatus, but I've been meaning to make this video for a long time, and there are quite a few things that I wanted to say about this topic specifically, and I wanted to make sure that I took the time to make sure that I was able to get across every point that I really wanted to as clearly as I could. And so it took me a while to kind of like plan what I was going to say, think about like what was needed by the general internet community. And so yeah, like sorry for the really long wait, but I think that it was really important for me to take that. If you're new here, my name is Annette Lee. I am an incoming freshman at Princeton University. I will be studying computer science. Well, at least that's what I'm going to start out as. I can't guarantee that I'll stay on my computer science track until the end. Anyways, if you would like to see more videos about college admissions, perhaps college life, that kind of stuff, make sure to subscribe, click the notification bell, because I don't know how my posting schedule is going to work very much, especially after that really long hiatus. Anyways, make sure to do those things. So, as I mentioned, I've been meaning to talk about this topic for a really long time because, so my last video was my college decisions reactions video, and a lot of people in the comment section of that video specifically asked me to make a stats video, or they asked me to make an extracurriculars video, or they asked me to make like an essays video, like basically like anything like under the guise of like how I got into Princeton or like any of the other schools that I got into. And for a couple of reasons that I'm going to detail later in this video, I've never been a huge fan of those kinds of videos. And I expressed this sentiment to like a couple of the people who are asking me for these kinds of videos, but that didn't stop people from asking, and so I think I just really wanted to make myself clear in that I don't want to make these kinds of videos and why I don't want to make these kinds of videos. And so that's basically what this video is going to be about. So yeah, I don't like stats videos, and when I say stats videos, I mean videos about literal stats like GPA, SAT, ACT scores. I mean videos about extracurricular activities and videos about even essays, although those to a much lesser extent. And there are a couple of reasons why. First, I believe that the college admissions process is a very different process for every single person who goes through it because everyone grows up in very different circumstances. And I think that college admissions officers are very well aware of this, and they take background into account like really highly at every single school. They recognize that someone who is wealthy and lives in a very wealthy suburban area and goes to a private school has very different opportunities than someone who lives in a rural area and is low income. And because this is true, like, I personally don't think it's a good idea for me to say something like, this is what helped get me into Princeton, under the guise of it might help other people get into Princeton too, because depending on who you are, depending on who I am, like in the grand scheme of like college applicants, it might not be enough, it might be like really unattainable. I don't know, because I don't know your circumstances and you don't know my circumstances. Like, that's just how it is, and I don't want to specifically advise something that worked for me when I know it's not gonna work for everyone else. And like, note that I'm definitely not trying to like bash on anyone who has made a stats video or an extracurriculars video or an essays video or anything like that. It's just that I think that what I'm saying today is really, really important to anyone who's trying to make sense of this whole admissions process, and I don't think that it's said enough in general. And speaking of trying to make sense of this whole admissions process, that brings me into my next point, in that college admissions can be really crazy and really random, and just because like you want to like try it and compare and quantify yourself into like impressiveness points that you can like compare to other people on the internet who have gotten into the schools that you want to go to, like it's probably not going to work because you don't know how admissions officers think. And on that note, like on comparing yourself to people on the internet, like just because these other people seem like really impressive and they've done things that you can only dream of doesn't mean that they're the only people who have chances to go to your dream school and that you don't stand a chance at all. Like as I said earlier, people grow up in different circumstances, and just because they had access to certain things doesn't mean that you also had access to those certain things. And I think it would be really sad if like people who were like super qualified and did like really amazing things and like cured cancer when they were 12, if it were only those people on the internet like talking about like get them getting into really good schools because they had all these accomplishments. Like I just feel like it inadvertently kind of how do I say this? It discourages people from applying to these top schools because they don't think that they have a chance, even though a lot of these people, they really do have a chance at their dream school, and they just see like all of these like super qualified people on the internet and they think that they don't stack up when in reality they do. And I think it's really sad that people really just don't think that they stand a chance because they see like people on the internet being like super qualified. I don't know, I think I'm rambling a little bit, but basically my point with that is that even if you don't think you have a chance, you should apply anyways because you don't know what the college admissions officers are thinking. And, you know, if you don't apply, you won't get in. And this is a little bit unrelated, and I don't know how to tie this back to like what I said right before this, but I don't know, like somehow my last video, my college decisions reactions video, didn't get like a lot of hate on it. Like I saw some other people's reactions video saying like, oh, you only got in because of affirmative action. Oh, you only got in because of this reason or that reason. And I think that part of the reason for that is because the people who watched my last video only know that I applied to those schools and that I got into those schools, and I am not of a race that is advantaged by affirmative action, and that's a whole nother topic that I'm not going to be talking about in this video specifically. But they don't know if I'm qualified or not, and I kind of want to keep it that way because if I talk about my stats or my extracurriculars or my essays or anything, like I'm kind of scared that people are going to come attack me and say that I was not qualified for blank school because I yada yada yada. And I think I like keeping it this way, and that people don't know what I did to get into blank school, because like I just don't want to open myself up to internet trolls and haters and those kinds of people. It sounds really stupid, but I think like I'm finally starting to realize a little bit that I deserve my spot because I got in, because I had previously just been saying to myself like, oh my god, this was a mistake, the admissions office made a mistake, I don't deserve my acceptances. And like I'm finally starting to realize that I do deserve my acceptances, and I would like to keep it that way. So I'm just trying to keep like my accomplishments like as hidden as possible, just so that I don't have any troll food, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, but that's basically like my rationale for not wanting to make a stats video, and I know that it might be a little disappointing to hear, but I think that what I said today is really important, especially for anyone going through the college admissions process within the next few months or even within the next few years. So I don't know, if you've made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching. I know that I'm really bad at speaking. I don't think I'm meant to be a YouTuber, but I don't know, life takes you in weird directions sometimes. So thank you for watching again, and make sure to like and subscribe.